Talking about identity is not easy. Companies are getting better at this, but the one thing that we don't talk about as it relates to diversity and inclusion is class. Class is one of those invisible dimensions. Class transcends race, gender, generations. We can all relate on a class level. So I've gathered us here today to have a really honest and open conversation about how to navigate the corporate environment as people who come from very different socioeconomic backgrounds.
I think your relationship with money in some ways is a proxy for your relationship with how you engage with the world.
I was born and raised in India for like 21 years and I have a very humble beginning.
I'm from Jamaica and I came here when I was 12. My mom was a nanny and I went to boarding school, so I've been adjacent to wealth for much of my life, but only as a professional was I able to have the opportunity to become truly middle class.
I don't think that anyone is necessarily proud to be poor or working class or coming from humble beginnings unless you've already survived that story, right?
There's such shame to being humble in terms of what you have or where you come from.
We need to have more conversations about class because no one should feel ashamed of their class backgrounds. When you talk about a stigma openly, it takes it away, essentially.
One thing, after my business school, like I went to work in investment banking. One of the head of the trading desk took us to the Hamptons for like a social gathering with all the graduates that just joined the company. And one of the head of the trading desk said, "Can I drop you back to your home?" And I didn't want to show him where I live. So I told him, "Can you drop me off to the train station?" And I walked from there.
So I remember when I first started working in corporate America, and I was still working 2 jobs, and you'd come in on Monday morning and everyone's talking about their weekends, and you sort of feel a sense of shame, or I don't want to talk about the fact that I was working a second job because I have a lot of student loans to pay back or because I help my family.
I think if you are working a second job, everyone needs to know that how we live is frankly how our customers and our clients live. Creating an inclusive environment at work really requires that we're mindful about the assumptions we make about our colleagues and their relationship with money. Even though I've done well and have experienced some measure of social mobility, not everyone in my extended network is. While many others may be able to give to nonprofits and claim a tax credit, for instance, my nonprofit may be my cousin who needs $1,000. I call it the black tax. I can't claim that, but it's something that I have to account for every year in terms of what I allocate money to and what I need to put aside for. But that's the reality of social mobility. Your class background never goes away. It's always present.
Class difference for me is a language barrier because we have a bias towards business cases that are very polished. People with limited language capability can also have a bright idea. Growing up in India, I couldn't go to a private school and get the education done in English. I didn't speak English until my undergrad. So when I first came in out of the business school, I was told that I have to fit into the corporate America.
What advice would you give to someone coming from a very similar background?
To bring their authentic self to the work, right? Because by doing that, you're not only helping your manager, but you're also helping maybe somebody out there who's listening to you to get them on the right track.
Part of why I value being an employee at Prudential is it provides me the space to be open and honest about challenging and difficult circumstances that I've gone through.
That is why diversity is so important. The more you have of that, the more you create the space for people to share those different experiences.